Hi, my name is Ronnie. I'm from AesirX, and I'm going to show you our AesirX consent management platform for WordPress. I did a quick one-click install. It doesn't take long, and after that, you can set up your license and license key, etc., or you can activate a 2-week trial directly from inside the consent management platform in WordPress. Once you've done that, if you're using Google Tag Manager, you can set up your Google Tag Manager ID here to load after consent is given in the consent management platform. That makes it legal and compliant. Remember, you're not allowed to load Google Tag Manager until after consent. Next, we have a consent shield for third-party plugins. Here you can see all the installed plugins into the website. You can one-click block them until consent is given. You can categorize them, etc. We also have a consent shield for domain and path-based blocking here. In this case, it's Jetpack that loads and collects data and shares it with pixel.vp.com, zero.vp.com, and stats.vp.com, which are servers based in the US. So from a European Union perspective, United Kingdom, Norway, etc., this is non-compliant unless we actually categorize it and we block them until after explicit and informed consent is given. Next, I'm going to go into the consent log. Consent log is a legal requirement, so we have a consent log as well. It's not very sexy, not so much to talk about, but it's here. We can then move on to the consent model, which is a bit more interesting. We have the standard consent model here for reject, consent, or customize, and we also have a decentralized consent mode here, where you can actually enable digital wallets. So if people are using a MetaMask, a Concordium wallet, or if they get one of the new ID wallets from member states of the European Union and the UK, etc., or if they get a mobile driver's license wallet in the US, then they will be able to use those also onwards to claim decentralized consent and data ownership. You will also be able to customize the consent management text, cookie declaration text, the customize the details tab text in the CMP, and also the rejection text. Next, we go to the consent logic, and the consent logic is where we said that we were going to run it in opt-in mode, like the European Union, or in opt-out mode, like California. We can also enable global privacy control, which is a good idea because if the consumer has gPC plugin installed in a Chrome browser, or they are running a browser that natively supports gPC global privacy control, it will actually read it and it will take it as a rejection automatically without the consumer having to do anything else, and that is a legal requirement, for instance, in California. Next, we go to consent analytics, and this is a little more interesting in terms of comparison to the consent log, because here we actually collect all the detailed data in terms of what kind of consent we're getting. Is it revoked, rejected, opt-in, what is it, and how is it happening, from which time zones, is the differences, etc., etc. Next, we can go into geo-handling, and this is an interesting feature because here I can say that, well, while I set the consent mode to be opt-in for the European Union under my consent logic, then in here I can actually enable geo-handling. And I say, well, if you are from a browser with EN-US-based language or you're in specific time zones, then we're going to set you to opt-out instead. And we're going to allow the user to override it. And we can do this for each country in the world, so we are able to do a very granular way of implementing consent management based on the visitor and where they're from. And that's what the laws require. It's not where your business is located, it's where the visitors are from. Finally, we added something brand new in our latest release last week, our ID verification, where we offer age and country verification. So here you can basically just checkbox age verification and/or country verification, and when you do that, then instantly it will be available to the website. Right now, we support Concordium ID and Wallet, and we support Google Wallet with the first mobile driver's licenses from the US, and both of them use a zero-knowledge proof. However, if the visitor is using Concordium ID and Wallet, then we have no phone home, we have no linkability, so it's really a privacy-preserving technology. That also means that you, as a website owner, you will not be a data processor or data controller because the ID credentials used to prove age and country verification will never be shown to you. It's a zero-knowledge proof, meaning you will never see the actual data. You will just get told, yes, this user can enter the website because they live up to the minimum age, and/or allowed countries, disallows countries a maximum age, depending on your configuration. Next, we have an embedded privacy scanner from our website. And here you can actually scan your website. You can see what's wrong. Any beacons, cookies, whatever is found. You can go back to the consent shield. You can add them in, and then you are compliant. Finally, we also have our AI privacy advisor. So our AI privacy advisor, you can start it up, click regenerate. It actually scans the website before and after consent. Once that's done, it finds everything on the site that needs consent, informed consent, explicit consent. In this case, Jetpack, as I mentioned before, is found. It's also finding SiteKit by Google, which is another plugin in WordPress. You just click one button. When you click that one button, it will actually implement all of the data up in the consent shield. It will generate the cookie declaration, the privacy policy, the consent request, etc. Remember, these are all drafts, so you have to review them. But this is a very quick way to get very, very far. It's almost seamless compliance. So our AI privacy advisor is offering quite a lot of assistance in terms of getting deployments happening quick, easy, and without missing anything. So that's pretty much it. That's our consent management platform for WordPress. It's one of a kind. We built all of it to be first party. We wrote ourselves out of the data model. We're not a SaaS provider. We don't have any limitations on amount of views or sub pages, etc. It's a fixed price. $9 per month. That's the normal subscription, and there's no additional cost. So check it out. 2-week trial.